Now, when governments and organisations make decisions, the environment is rarely high on the priority list. But at the World Forum on Natural Capital, which is being held in Edinburgh today and tomorrow, a call is being made for our waters, soils and forests to be at the heart of decision-making. Jonathan Hughes from the Scottish Wildlife Trust outlined the thinking behind the conference.
Really, we wanted to do two things. We wanted to raise awareness of the loss and the degradation of the world's natural capital. Natural capital can be defined as the stocks, if you like, of soil and water and biodiversity and air on which we all depend. But not just the fact that that is an ecological tragedy, but also the fact that it's having profound social and economic consequences too. And we wanted to help businesses and governments understand this crisis and to help avert any further degradation of the natural environment and actually turn what is at the moment a huge risk for the planet and for us all into an opportunity. And you'll see that many forward-thinking businesses are already actually realising that getting nature on their balance sheets can make great business sense.
I've been talking to one of the speakers at this World Forum on Natural Capital, the environmental filmmaker John Liu.
Actually, there is no other kind of capital. What we're seeing is that we have elevated or inflated derivatives, and that the source of life has been basically zero, and this is incorrect. This is illogical. It's wrong. And it leads to desertification and degradation and pollution and all these other problems that we're having. So if we were to value the natural capital, to understand that air, water, food, energy, these are the basis of life, and that they can't be zero, that the shiny objects that we manufacture and then throw away in a few years are less valuable than the systems that we depend on for life.
But how do you convince businesses and government that these concerns should come first? Because, let's face it, business is very short-term and electoral politics is not much shorter-term, actually. So how do you get people to look at the long game?
The fact is that we are now forced to look at this. We're changing the climate. Every ecosystem on the planet is faced with potential collapse. The oceans, the atmosphere. And we have to realize that there is no economy if life is threatened. So civilizations have come and gone in the past, and many of these civilizations have failed because their ecosystems collapsed. But now we're doing this at a planetary scale. So in the past, a civilization could collapse and then it would come up in another part of the world. But now there's nowhere to go. We're at over 7 billion people, and we're adding 1 billion people every 12 years. So this is the end game unless we understand that the basis of life is more valuable than things which we extract, manufacture, and buy and sell.
The First Minister is speaking at this event. Is that a sign that, well, you're getting the message across that governments are starting to take it seriously?
Everyone, whether you're in governance or you're in business, must face these things because you don't see other solutions. There are no real solutions out there. We've created illogical systems. So now we have a business system that has to have growth. We think we need more and more growth. We do, need to have a type of growth, but we've changed this so it's more and more stuff. What we need is more and more function. We haven't realized that productivity follows ecological function. So we've put the productivity first and the function we've just left out. What we have to realize is we need to work as a species on a planetary scale to ensure that the ecological systems are functional. And in this way, the Earth is productive. If we put the productivity first, then we allow ourselves to destroy the systems, we have actually no productivity. So every politician, every business leader is forced to calculate and think about this.
When you're talking about humanity effectively acting together to save the environment, and then you look at, well, the state the planet is in at the moment politically and in terms of warfare, it's easy to feel pessimistic, isn't it?
I'm half Chinese, so the sort of Chinese philosophies have influenced me. And I think when you look at crisis, and that's what we have a crisis. So when you look at crisis, the Chinese have had much experience over thousands of years, and they have combined two concepts into one. So it's danger and opportunity. So the danger is real and immediate, but the opportunity is there as well. I would say it's very similar to the flat Earth, round Earth situation in Europe. So if you have something which is fundamentally false, but it is supported by institutions and it has laws, and if you come up with another idea, you could be persecuted for it, but it's wrong. Then gradually what happens is that you have a collective consciousness in humanity that comes to the realization, by the way, the Earth is round and it circles the sun and it spins and wobbles. It's not the center of the universe. And then the flat Earth position becomes untenable. And here you have something which is fundamentally true. The Earth's systems that create life are vastly more valuable than anything that has ever been produced, anything that will ever be produced. And so the idea that these products, these things that we're supposed to be consumers